the scaling team beyond 20, 30, 50 agents. How far are you looking to scale? You
10 million, 100 deals a year ourselves.
to unlock that next level.
A system is the way you methodically get your clients to the closing table. We had so many leads.
And they kept mentioning agency.
All right, so whilst everyone is joining in, let me start a little introduction. So today we're going to be talking about the scaling team, especially scaling beyond 20, 30, 50 agents. The guest speakers today are LaShawn and Towanna. I'm very fortunate to know them almost from 3 years ago when we just started Agently, and we are very lucky to have them as one of our early adopters. They literally in front of our eyes grew from 20 to 89 agents. This was right in front of our eyes. Last year, I was at the conference where they actually earned the Icons of the Year title with EXP. So that was a huge milestone for any EXP team. But also this year, and even starting last year, they started expanding across multiple states. So all of this is literally happening in front of our eyes. And the crazy part is only 5% of teams make it past that 20, 30 agent benchmark. And I'm not just talking about that souls. I'm talking about actual producing agents. And even fewer out of those 5% are willing to openly share their playbooks and systems and processes. So whilst Towanna and LaShawn are these outliers, whilst we have that opportunity, we should absolutely take that with both hands to find out as much as we possibly can about what worked for them and apply to your business. So again, this webinar today, the objective is that you walk away with some insights that you didn't have up to today, that you learned from them, and you can immediately apply it to your business. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
Thank you so much for having us. We were very excited about today. I'm absolutely wonderful. It's a cloudy day in Detroit, but the sun is shining somewhere.
How you doing, Max? Thanks for having us on. We do like to share anything that we learn along the way. I believe that's why we have been able to have so much success is because LaShawn and I do not gatekeep. So any questions that you have, make sure you get them over to Max so we can try to help and drop as many gems as possible.
It took us a lot of learning, traveling to seminars all across the country, workshops, coaching alongside Agently to get this far. And we're more than happy to share what we've learned.
And this is amazing. I really think it's amazing that even in today's market, when everyone is fighting for market share, the acquisitions, the competition is enormous. There are people like you who are openly sharing what's working for them. It's really, really great to see that there are still cases like that in real estate. So thank you for that. So let's get started. Anyone who wanted to join should be here by now. I want to start with taking you back to the point where you were a 20 agent, even maybe let's take even further in the past. What was the moment when you thought we want to start a team? So what was that? Why couldn't you just stay top producers? What sparked that?
So what sparked it was another business opportunity. Because sometimes I ask myself, like, how did you get here, right? It was another business opportunity. We had the opportunity to open a title company. And to open the title company, we couldn't be the owner of the real estate agent. I guess it could be an agent.
But it went a little deeper than that.
It did go deeper than that. So that was the very first thought of we're going to switch it into a standardized team. LaShawn and I have always been a domestic teams with EXP. And as we came over as a domestic team, we didn't have agents underneath us. It was just team Peterson-Jackson. She was Peterson, I was Jackson, right? Mm-hmm. And as to grow and as our business started to grow, we had so many leads that we just could not keep an eye on them, keep a handle on them. And so the business opportunity came. and the fact that I realized that I was losing a lot more than I was closing, even though I had a lot of success closing. And so it just was like the perfect storm for us, I would say.
And we were also training our EXP downline and operating them like a self-organized team where I held weekly trainings with them, weekly meetings. We had an office that they could come to. We were also giving them our excess leads. So we were definitely running a self-organized team before we became a standard team. The thing that made us hesitant to start it is we didn't know any successful team leaders. Everyone that we knew that was running a team, they were doing it out of ego, not because they should be doing it. So we didn't have anyone that we knew personally or that we had access to that could guide us. So we were very hesitant because we were like, if we do this, we want to do it right and we want to do it for the right reason. So it was a hard decision for us to start a team. It wasn't easy. We had the pros and cons.
Interesting. So I hear access leads, I hear real business needs because you couldn't be both managing the team, the group, and that other business opportunity. So okay, with access leads, it's pretty easy. Our agents are flocking in. There's no problem getting that first 15, 20 agents. What started to break? So what was that moment when things started to break? Did you experience any bottleneck where you got to certain number to where you thought the way we ran a 10 agents team no longer works?
I would say for me, it broke really quickly because you're right. We went from operating business as Tawanna and LaShawn to operating business as Team Peterson-Jackson with other people. And I believe our first we had 10, maybe 10. I only wanted three. And then next week we were at 10, right? It broke quickly because I don't think we were prepared for team lead. We didn't know what we were supposed to do. It was like, everybody, we're on a team. We got a team now.
And we have leads. So when we first got the team, we were 100% running off Tawana and I sphere of influence. We didn't buy leads. We didn't do anything. And as a matter of fact, I was still working. I'm a project manager. I was working at a stockbrokerage firm and I'm a tech person. And Tawana had put together some binders. Tawana and her admin, they made some binders. And inside the binders, it had everything you needed to start. It had contracts, it had your team handbook, it had so much information that all they had to do was flip through these binders, and the binders kept getting thicker. And as an IT person, it was driving me crazy. And we were tracking leads on spreadsheets. We had not adopted a CRM yet because we had just took off running. We did go purchase a CRM out the gate, and no one was available to train us how to use it. So we just had, well, we were making money, we were closing deals, but it was organized chaos, and it was just driving me crazy as a person with a tech background, a management background.
I thought we were doing well.
What is the problem we're
It was
making
like
money?
we got the binders, we got the people, but
All right, so LaShawn is going crazy at the
failed was the people. That was
yeah.
the first thing that failed was the people.
So LaShawn is going crazy at the same time. Tawana thinks it's going fine. You have the binder, and what was that moment when you kind of like, okay, there needs to be a structure, a system in place. What was like, what drove? How did it work? Did you start typing in Google, how do I structure my team? What exactly happened there?
I didn't know what
A few things
she
happened.
was talking about, Max. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know what she meant by system. What is a system? I'm a salesperson. And she was like, our systems, we need systems. I was like, I gave you one. It's a binder right there. Write the contract, close the deal. She was like, that's not it at all. So it took her basically slowing it all the way down to really express a system to Tawana is a CRM.
Right.
A system is the way you methodically get your client to the closing table.
So was it like, would you say onboarding the biggest problem, the training agents on how to use the CRM? Was it holding them accountable? Was it coaching them? What was the main one?
We had none of that. We started absolutely from scratch. All our agents hit the ground running. We did teach them how to write contracts, and that was it.
Mhm.
We had lenders that come in and teach. We would have the title company would come in and do classes, but we had zero organization. And I knew that it had to be a better way. So the first thing that I did, I went and I found us some coaching with some experienced team leaders that were willing to coach us.
Yeah.
So that was the number one thing I did. We flew out to, where did we go?
Florida.
We went to Florida
Yeah.
and we attended a team leader boot camp. And
Mhm.
then Tawanna was able to see what is that all the things that we were missing. So
Yeah.
I was able to get her to buy in that we did need systems and that we needed these things. And so once we went to this training and she saw how other team leaders were operating their business, it changed everything for her. So I was given the green light to go ahead and modernize and get the technology that we needed and to buy the systems. And looking for systems, I looked at a lot of things. I looked at Sisu, I looked at Monday.com, I even checked out Salesforce, but a lot of those systems were really expensive. I couldn't get her to buy into spending that much money. And then I was in a Facebook group one time and they kept mentioning Agently. And I was like, what is this Agently? Let me look this up, right? So I looked at, I think I bought it for myself first. And I went in there, or did I get the trial? And I was looking through and I was like, oh my God, this is cool. All the marketing stuff that you had at the time. I was like, that's nice. But it's this training area right here that I
Mhm.
love. And I was like, I think I can work with this. And the price was right. So I sat up and I built it out. I really didn't bring Tawanna in because until I was finished building it out and I showed her what I built and she absolutely loved it. So
I'm going to share this with you for the first time. You were one of our early adopters, and I was literally looking at the back and I'm like, oh my God, someone is building their training. Look how many courses they got. Oh my God, looks like someone actually realized what it's built for. Because you were literally the pioneer of building that out. Everyone else was mostly using spreadsheets at the time, the printout PDFs and things like that. So I'm like, oh my God, this is working. Someone realized what we were trying to do. That is awesome. And can I, just before we move on to the implementation part, what was agent production like back then? So were you lucky to get some agents who started to produce? What was the churn like? What was retention like? So where was your business in terms of production back at that state?
Pre-systems.
we wasn't complaining. We thought it was good because we were probably doubling our production of what me and Tawana was doing. So we were probably at about 20 million. So we're in the Detroit market. So we close a lot of deals, but Tawana and I were doing 10 million, 100 deals a year ourselves, right? So we with the team and that was good for us as a new team. I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
smoking and it's okay.
Within that process.
Yeah. And the other question was, I
The
always,
systems were just once the systems got on, we were able to start moving a little bit more.
yeah, just just
On,
just
Yeah.
wait
on.
on that a little more. We're gonna get into that. But I wanted to ask you, were you specifically looking for a top producers in your market to join your team, or were you open to recruiting new agents? Because a lot of the times I get from team leaders, oh no, we only recruit top producers. Well, guess what? Everyone else does too. So I wanted to understand what was your approach back then, like as to who you targeted for your team.
I target new agents or agents that's stagnant in their production. I have never gone after a top producer. I create them.
Do you realize how different it is from how most teams operate?
Yes.
Weren't you afraid of the amount of effort you need to put into the agents for them to start producing? And were you not kind of like cautious of the risk that they might churn after all that time you put into them?
It happens, and it's a risk that I was always willing to take because I wanted to build out a team that was different from the agents that I knew that was
Hmm.
working in my market. I wanted to change the market. So I was definitely only really open to new agents because of the things that I wanted to implement in my market.
Hmm. Excellent. All right, so wrap up with this question. I think Tyler asks a question: How long? Well, I'll ask a question, how long it took you to get from 20 to 80, like exact time period? Maybe we can answer that now.
It's, I mean, when did we get to 80 in 2025? Like I said, Max was watching. We got there. So we joined Agently, what, in 2023?
I think four, early 2024.
Early 2024. So we're there now. We actually have more than 80 if you count Houston. We're at like 89. So what is that? 2 years.
Hmm.
2 years.
And the other question is, how were you able to just hard stop and jump into Agently?
From going from our binders and going into Agently, it wasn't a hard stop because to
Right.
tell you the truth, we've been with Agently now for
2
3 years,
years.
2 years, and that binder right there is one of our brand new agents who made it since
Oh, this is
we.
script binder.
Oh, is that the script? Okay, so one of our newer agents, she's always been on Agently, but she prints things out to make a binder.
Yeah.
So it I think it's like a preference, but what I love about it is that we can always send a person to an area to find what they're looking for. No
Hmm.
longer is it, hey, let me check Tawanna's binder because my binder is going to be different from James's binder because I made all the meetings, he missed three. So I may have some information, he may have some, and you could get together and kind of piece it.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
one of the things is that every new agent came in under agently, right? So the new agents came in and they went through the process. So our for our onboarding, it starts at transfer your license, and I think we have almost 90 steps that go through your 6-month goal plan, right? And everything in between. And the legacy agents were seeing how well and how prepared the new agents were and how they got out of onboarding and was just making money, and they were teaching them things. So they were like, hey, wait a minute.
Where did you learn that
Where
at?
did you learn
Where
that?
did you hear
Hmm.
that?
Oh, it's in the app. That's what we call agently on the team, the app. Oh, it's in the app. You got that
Yeah.
out of the app. So I would also put things in the app to make them go in there. Well, where's the 1099? Where's this? Where's that? It's in the app. It's in the app. Well, where are the appraisers? Do anybody have any appraisers? They're in the app. What about inspectors? They're in
Oh,
the
they're in the
app.
app.
Where do anybody have a lender that specializes in?
203K.
They're in the app. So I just started sending them to the app for everything.
Yeah.
So we naturally transition to that part two, transitioning from chaos to structure. And yeah, I guess I want to ask you this, and I'm going to get to all the questions in a second, but I want to ask you this. There's a big difference between telling agents to do something and them doing that. What is the what is the policy there? Because sometimes we speak with team leaders who said, "Well, I just can't get my agents to do what I tell them to," or like, what's your policy there? How do you approach this?
I mean, I think it's just a level of respect. My agents, I fulfill my promise to them. They got to fulfill their promise to me. And one of their promise to me is that you're going to complete onboarding. So our onboarding, the way it works is that it's in 3 blocks, right? We have weeks 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12. And for each of these blocks, we have a boot camp that accompanies the block. So they have to give me a day a month for a boot camp, and the boot camps roll over every quarter. So for boot camp one, session one, we're going to talk about weeks 1 through 4 and all the things that we address in our week 1 through 4, which is what do we address in weeks 1 through 4? We do contracts, we do joining your boards,
Bios.
attending your boards, writing your realtor bios, getting your headshots done, getting your open house kit together. All of those things, right? We address in week 1 through 4. And I think in week 1 through 4, it's probably about 35 items that they have
Yeah.
to complete, and then we run a boot camp. So we don't expect the app. We don't to teach them everything because we do bring them in and we go over the contracts line by line by line. They know how to write them. We have a company and documentation that goes with that. but they have to have completed it by then. And then we move on to weeks 5 through 8 and so forth and so on. And like 5 through 8 is where you get your buyer consultations, your seller consultations, actually how to run a proper open house. What do you need to do? All your circle prospecting, your cold calling, all of that stuff is addressed in week 5 through 8 and more. Just I'm just giving you an example. And then
Yeah.
like weeks 9 through 12, we get into the business part, right? And if you're going to be taking team leads, you get your Zillow training, we go deep into your follow-up boss training, we get into goal planning, all of the things you need your time tracking, all of the things that you need to run a business.
So would it be fair to say that Agently holds your list of activities for agents to do, and only once they do them, they kind of like qualify for kind of like more of a one-to-one time with you where you can
Yes.
review that?
At the end, they do.
Yeah.
And then we also have assignments that they have to send us. You know what I'm saying? You have to tape a buyer consultation. Like you're speaking to an actual buyer and you have to do the whole consultation and you have to send me the video that I sit and watch. You have to do the same thing with the seller consultation. You got to tape it. You got to send it to me. So there are assignments. You have to send me your time block.
And that's how we kind of hold them accountable, because we do have these benchmarks in place. So if you don't make your benchmark for week 1 through 4, like LaShawn said, what are we doing here? We have mentorship set up on our team as well. So that first step, that mentor comes in like, hey, you've been on the team for 3 months. Where's your benchmark? Where are the documents you should have sent me showing that you know how to do a buyer agency consultation, or how to at least fill out a purchase agreement? So we are able to, we're very in tune with our training program. We don't just hire agents and throw them on a team and kind of let them spit, because that eats away your profitability. So we keep our numbers in check here.
And then one more thing, we have a weekly check-in with them. We have a team business meeting on Monday mornings where all of our team calls into to report their deals, their current state of their deals, right? With our admins. The agents and onboarding have to call in and let us know what week they're on.
Yeah, something to report every Monday.
Yes.
Do you ever let agents go?
Yes.
So you're not holding on to that head count. You're open to, okay.
Oh, no, that next day, if they're not moving, you're gonna see them moving out the door pretty soon.
Yeah.
Some teams take a different approach to where they keep those dead souls on the team, which I think actually hurts the team culture. I wanted you to share that you're more focused on agent quality over the quantity in that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not to say that all agents move at the same pace. I have had agents that maybe close the deal or two their first year that are in my top producer list this year. So I can kind of, if the hunger is there and if the intent is there and if they're steady showing up, then yeah, they can stay. But it's not a productivity thing for us. It's more of are you present? Are you trying?
Are you committed?
Are you committed? Right.
Yeah.
And then a great question from Monica. What's your policy on part-time agents? Do you have any part-time agents on your team, and are there expectations differ from the full-timers?
We do have part-timers, and I can tell you this 100%, our part-timers outperform the full-timers, baby. They do.
Outperform.
When you give them the hours that they put in, one of our top producers is a nurse at the VA hospital. So she works 12-hour shifts and she is constantly in our top 3.
Yeah, because she's required to have a time clock schedule. So those who are part-time agents who can't do it full-time, and I really never say that they're part-time agents.
They're dual career.
They're dual career, right? That means that our office, when we look for office space, we only have offices that allow us 24-hour access. Because my dual career agents, and LaShawn did it for years, they come after they get off of their daytime job and they will work a few hours. And I mean, we have some agents who work that third shift. They're here early in the morning as soon as they get off.
Right.
And those that work the second shift, they're in the office. Sometimes I can look at the cameras, they're coming in at midnight And they,
Hmm.
we have all of the systems and with AI in place and everything that they can schedule out their text messages, they can schedule out their emails, so with them, the systems are not something that they like to use. It's a requirement for them to use
Hmm.
to have a successful
And
business
our dual career nurse, she's here today. She's off today. She's in the office.
in the office.
Wow. The other question I wanted to ask, and that's actually from Tyler. You're now entered the Texas market. So I think you operate in Houston. You mentioned that there are a couple of other markets on the horizon. The question from Tyler is, how are you keeping those agents in your market involved and producing if they're, further away from you?
So fortunate enough that we are able to see those agents in our other markets. We try to see Houston, and we have an agent in Dallas as well. We see them once a month. So
Right.
we travel once a month to
We're
them.
there a week a month.
Yeah. And then the agents in our other areas, we have a partnership with our lender that to the Detroit area. So way to always lean into your partnerships. Some of these companies have a lot more money than our little agents, so make sure you meet the right partners that can help you with that. How do we keep the culture up? I think a lot of agents want that one-on-one time. So I make sure that I try to give all my agents at least that one-on-one time. Now, of course, 80, 90 people, when you're scaling that big, you're not going to get everybody every week. So, it's more or less either text check-in, calling on the phone. We just try to be
So
involved with them and create culture across lines.
for me, I try to keep myself not bogged down in the details of the day to day so that I do have a lot of time for them. We have support team. We have an amazing support team that handles a lot of the day to day things that come up. We have an operations manager. We have two admins. All of our staff are licensed realtors. Except for our VAs. So they can handle a lot of issues. We have trained them to handle most things that will arise in a real estate transaction. So we are free to, spend time and talk to our agents and help them through crisis moments that they go through with their deals and in life. So it's never come to a point where they are like just where no one feels that they are out of touch with us, if
Yeah.
that makes
Right.
sense.
Right.
We have a team in Flint, which is an hour north of Detroit. And Flint is a whole different world from Metro Detroit, even though it's not far in distance, but in culture it's different. So we go up there once a month and spend time with them, and we got them their own office space as well. So it's more, and I take calls from them all day. So it's just a matter of being reachable, touchable, and having the right team to support you to handle the day-to-day issues that they face.
Yeah, and another thing, I think you're one of our most active users for Agently's coaching feature, where you create, those 90-day market dominations,
Yes, yes.
productivity standards. So, do you rely on those to provide weekly actionable direction for your agents as to like what exactly they need to do to earn their next deal? Do you leverage that component actively?
One of the things when I like to leverage that, if I look at our pipeline and I notice that the pipeline is a little bit down, it's not where I want it to be, then I'll go in there and I'll create something like a contest, so to speak. And I'll put prizes and I'll put things on it to get everyone excited about, winning and ranking and gets us back to where we need to be. I always, always, always do it at the first of the year, right after the holidays to get people back into work mode, right?
Yeah.
And then I like to do it again in like maybe early August when people are getting that summer slowdown. I like to bring them back up and
Hmm.
get back, get their attention back. So I do put prizes on it.
What are the different prizes and incentives? If you can give us a few examples.
What did you do before you?
Money, cash, gas cards, dinner. We'll take them to any restaurant that they want to go to in the area because we have a lot of new restaurants. So dinner on us and dinner with us. I give them. We've done backpacks with team backpacks. We've done team swag packs. So t-shirts, all kind
Oh
of
yeah.
things.
So from a lot of the stuff that you described, it looks like you're very hands-on team leaders versus still being in production and having a team on the side. So I want to ask you this, in your personal opinion, is it possible to still be producing and have a team running on the side? Is there any way you can see anyone could do that? And I guess the second question is like how your responsibilities changed from when you were managing a 10 and 20 agent team to when you're now managing 80. It sounds like it's a completely different, you're in a completely different job. So I want to understand, what does that leap look like?
So I am 100% out of production. So I do not sell. I get clients, and then I have people, I call them my agents, that handle my deal. 100% out of production. I just don't have the capacity for it, and it would be unfair for me to try to service a client. I belong to the team 100%.
So I still do produce, definitely not to the level that I was years ago. My specialty or my niche is probate and divorces. And I like to just keep my skills up because I do a lot of the training, a lot of the sales training. One thing that LaShawn and I did do is we kind of like, all right, we're going to do this team. What do you want to do? What are you good at? What do you love? And then I'll do the rest. And so she was able to, she liked the systems. She wanted to, manage the processes and all of the IT things. And that was cool. And I said, okay, I like the people. I want to hang out with the sales. I want to show them how to do the sales part. And we just totally kind of like went our not separate ways, but we have our two lanes that we do it in the office. And then, of course, we definitely come together because we want to know how those two can mesh and work together, with the people and the sales and the systems.
Yeah.
So we have two different lanes that we kind of work in, and that works out fine for us. And then that way the agents know who to contact, right? They don't call LaShawn if they're having a deal problem because she's going to say, hold on one second, that's a Towanna question.
I can't answer, but
she could, but if she does, then the team is going to realize LaShawn has the answer as well, right? So no, that's a Towanna question. Hold on, I'll get her on the phone.
Yeah.
So now, within her saying that, she's training the team on who to go to when you're needed. Just like when we say, "Oh, did you check agently for that phone number?" Like I got 80 people. Why would you call the team leader and ask for the plumber's phone number?
Right.
But they do.
I have a rule. Do not ask me anything you can Google. But one of the things that have changed for me specifically is that now I am more into, I'm already a tech person, so I get to be in my lane. Like I create apps, I create, tools for the team. I get to do all of those fun things that I love to do so much. And I also create our trainings because while they're, going back and forth and hashing out deals, I'm listening. I'm soaking it in. I'm trying to see where our shortcomings are. And then I create trainings around what we need to train on. So I create the trainings, Tawana deliver the trainings. I also handle the staff. I manage the team. I manage the staff, make sure that they have everything and that they are doing everything that they need to do. So I guess I'm more on the operations and administration, and Tawana is definitely the sales leader.
And so, how many producing agents did you need to move out of production, LaShawn? So this is more of a question for you. I understand this will vary for different markets and different price points, but what was that point when you thought, okay, I want to dedicate myself to just...
I want to know what her number was because she just came in and said, I'm out of production. I was like, what?
I'm not sure any more houses.
I'm not doing another house.
I believe it was when we moved into this office. So I think we've been here about...
No, so
we've been here 2 years, so maybe then.
Whenever she met you, Max, she decided.
I was like, I got to whip this team into shape, and it needs all of my energy and all of my time. So it's about 2 years. I've been out of production. I tried to take a client last year, and it was my niece, and didn't work out for me. Because I was too concerned with all of the things that I needed to be doing and, on my phone and calling people and doing things, and I wasn't giving her the attention that she needs, so I had to turn her over.
Right. And so to give everyone on this call like a real practical advice. So what do you think is the first system to implement? Like where in the order of the things that reduced your workload the most, what is that first one, second one, third one, where to start today?
Go ahead, Tom.
So the very first thing, and this may not be specific for other markets, but it became specific for us, is we had to all get on the same MLS system. There were several different options in Michigan that you could do. So we had to okay, if we're going to have this team, that means that we have to have one set of what is absolute. This MLS is what we use. This is the calendar system we're going to be on, because we realize that our team hates the fact that me and LaShawn are Android people and they're all iPhone people. Okay, so they've been trying to get us to switch for years. It's not happening. But we had to find the calendar system that we wanted to use, because we wanted to be able to directly put on the calendar, we have a meeting on Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we switched that over. And then immediately, of course, LaShawn's first thing was, we got to get out of these binders. It was just way too much paperwork. We were losing things. It would be, I taught on that last week. They could never find what I taught on. So that was the onboarding and training was neck and tuck for me.
If you're talking big systems, I would say the first thing that you need, and one of the where we went wrong was a CRM. CRM is so important to have a working CRM that the team lead understands methodically. So that's the number one thing that I would say that you need above and beyond everything else. And then the second thing, of course, would be an onboarding plan. How are you going to bring agents into your team and into your culture? So that's number two for me. Whether it's a binder or an organized system, you need a foolproof system for bringing on people. And then the third thing is transaction management. How are you going to manage your deals? So those three things were top for me.
What is it you're currently using as your CRM, and are you finding much success with that?
We're on Follow Up Boss, and I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love it. We have it optimized, and so it runs well. Our team is well trained on it. We have a few people that are at expert level, and I love that for us. So I wouldn't, I know some people don't like it because of the Zillow ownership, but man, it has made second to Agently is the second biggest thing that we've done for our team that has made a difference.
And how are you driving adoption for FOB? Are there certain things that are part of your productivity standards that you just require agents to do dials on FOB? Are there any specific things?
If you don't use, you can't be on the team if you don't use follow
So
up.
you're literally out if you're not using FOB.
You're out, and you have to use your phone number. And one of the deals that I made with my agents, I said, when you leave the team, you can take your FUB number with you. I don't want it. I don't want your clients. You're gonna leave my clients though, but you can have your Follow Up Boss number because I don't want to impact your business when you do leave, but I'm gonna need you to use it while you're here. And so that's why it's just a non-negotiable, because you have no reason. I know, like with some people, they don't want to use it because the team owns the phone number. I don't want the phone number. I just want the adoption. You can't be on the team if you don't use Follow Up Boss, because first of all, it costs money, and some of the integrations I have cost even more. With all of our integrations and the cost of Follow Up Boss itself, we probably paying $100 a month per person. You're going to use Follow Up Boss, or you gotta go.
Thanks to that strong adoption, it actually Follow Up Boss connects to Agently, where you actually get full visibility into the activity and agent performance, and starting from activities to appointment set, met, signed, pending, closed. Would you say that visibility is kind of helped you in kind of proactively manage those agents, having that greater visibility because everyone is using the same CRM?
And so we do one-on-ones with our agents, and we try to do those at least once a quarter. We try to do a check-in with them just to make sure that production is going well. We have them pull up their Follow Up Boss We have them pull up their Agently, open it up, show me what your goals look like, how far you're off from goals. We really do want the agent to get used to looking at their numbers. That's why we spend so much time talking or tell me about the last 5 deals or 5 leads that you had come in. Where are they at in the pipeline? And what are you doing to actively get those to close? When you have them lay it all out and they know, you can tell 2 things on that one-on-one. One, if they're using it, because how quickly they can get to the program when you tell them, open this up for me.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't know how to open it,
Yeah.
hey, you
Easy.
ain't right. So we have them look at that. We have them pull those things up. So they know that they have to adopt the technology that we put out because we're going to test them on that technology.
Yeah.
They know that they have to use Follow Up Boss because if Tawanna or LaShawn sends a lead, that's how we send the lead.
Right.
Like if I'm giving you a referral, the note will be in FUB. And that
Yeah.
note will also come to your phone because part of onboarding is you sit down on the last day and we make sure everything is working.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We have around 12 minutes left, so
Oh,
please,
wow.
anyone, if you have your questions, make sure you put them in Q&A. The one from Rose, she asks about transaction management system. Am I right that you're using SkySlope for that?
Yes, we
Yes.
use SkySlope and we have like VAs. Our VA, we have 2 transaction management VAs, and we do also have our admins. So we do all the transaction management for the team.
Right.
Mhm.
And so now let's move quickly to kind of like that other side to where you are now. You're famous, you get a lot of media attention. I've seen your interview with the CEO of EXP. So that's, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening to you personally because you unlocked that next level. But I want to understand, like, in terms of business, did it, it's not just that you get to save a bit of time doing onboarding, but what does it mean for your agents? Are you able to attract more agents because of the publicity you're getting? Are you able to retain agents better because of that? So I just want to understand what this status you earn, which is like Icons of the Year by EXP, what does it mean to you in terms of actually pushing your business even further?
Ah, man, when we sit down with agents, they already know who we are. We don't have to sell ourselves at all as leaders. We only need to let them know exactly how we're going to elevate their business,
Right.
right? And when we could lay it out, and I can just lay it out with Agently, my follow-up boss, my systems. This is how I'm going to make you in production. This is how I'm going to get you out of that job that you hate. I can just strictly concentrate on how I'm going to help them. They already know me. They already know who I am and what I've done, but I can just 100% let them know what I'm going to do for them in their business.
I think for me, the growth comes not a lot from what LaShawn and I necessarily do, but what our agents are doing. And when you create a space for an agent to have success, they're going to tell the story for you.
Yes.
So how we recruit now is, I would say probably 9 out of the last 10 people I brought on came from one of the agents on my team introducing a person to me. Like, hey, Tawanna, I told them about Agently, or I told them about our CRM, or I told them about, what you and LaShawn do. I told them about our mastermind. I told them all the things. I need you to just, they didn't need to hear it from you. So again, when you build something and it works, people are going to be the ones out telling about it. The retention that we had before all of the systems and the adoption, we still have some of our agents that we started the team with. They
You
have
still have
not,
50% of them. Yeah.
they're not going either. You can't pull them off the team. Um, and then it's some on there's like, I'll never leave. I don't understand what people are looking for. And then of course you have those that you tell them, hey, like, yeah, when you leave, you're not gonna get what you got here. And then they leave and they call back like, you were right.
Can I come back home?
Can I come back home? I'm like, no, we can't do that. We do have that. So once we get the systems and everything in place, I think you're not going to have to tell your story as much because everyone else is going to be telling your story for you.
That's a very great point. Maybe on that topic, so what's next? I want to understand, like, having that system obviously allowed you to expand beyond your state to now Texas, and then you privately mentioned that you have other things in mind. I want to understand, how do you envision your team? So having all these processes figured out, how how far are you looking to scale? Are you imagining a 200 agent team? I want to understand, like, what is the goal there? So what can you do with it? Do you have any plans in place to where you gonna where you want to take this?
So LaShawn and I are servant leaders. We're always giving, and we want to change things. When we started the business, real estate itself, it was a mission based type start. It wasn't something that we started selling real estate because we just had to have money. I wanted to make a change on what our homeownership rate was in the area that I live in.
Mm,
So when we look at expansion and we look at when we're going to other places, even with Texas, we didn't go and say, hey, we're planting our flag here. We were invited to plant a flag there. It was people calling us to come there. The latest expansion, someone called us to come to Arkansas. I've never even been to the state, but we
hmm
were invited there by the people that want us there. I guess where we're gonna go where the universe takes us. I don't really have an answer for it.
Like right now, we're currently in talks with two teams that I won't say that they're failing, but they're having issues with lead management and training. So we're talking to them about joining forces under our umbrella. So that's something that we've been looking at. I don't want to say taking over another team, but maybe developing partnerships with other teams out there and giving them our playbook and helping them to be successful. So we're definitely working on that. I am currently in training for to be a success coach. I don't know
hmm
if I'll ever coach anybody, but I wanted all of my certifications because I want to be a better leader. So I'm sure that's going to help me and take me places that I just haven't thought of yet.
hmm
Juana and I, we have a book that we're writing, so we're working on that on our book.
Behind on that.
We have quite a few irons in the fire.
So my latest thing I think we're doing is our 6 week course that we're ironing out, where we'll take. So we do a lot of mastermind trainings here in the area, and just taking our blueprint and having that out. I want to do it in a 6 week program, I guess. So I won't. I really want to help more people, but I don't have the time to do it as much, and that's why LaShawn says I don't know if she'll coach because the team does require a lot of our time.
hmm
But we have been able to carve out some to do more masterminding, opening our organization out to, explaining to people like, hey, this blueprint works. Here it is. Take the notes, go out and have the success. Uh,
hmm
and we come out and we show brokers and owners how to do that every, chance that we can get.
For sure. I want to ask you this. So we asked most of the questions that were in chat already, but I want to ask you this. If someone wants to reach out to you and, maybe ask you additional questions about that playbook, or maybe there's any teams that, looking to join forces, just what you mentioned, can they get in touch with you via these contacts here on the screen?
Absolutely. That's our phone number, our website, our email address, the Facebook page, and that Instagram page. If you interact with those, you'll be interacting directly with LaShawn. She manages all the systems, so you can ask her questions in there. And then every once in a while, I'll come in. You'll know it's me because I'll crack a joke. But she's very business oriented with that. If you are a team leader, operations manager, broker owner, and you are looking to maybe bring us in to help train your team or your ops manager, I did have the book now QR code that you can go through there and learn a little bit more about me and LaShawn as well.
Yeah, because we are in partner. We're our Zillow preferred partner, and they have told us like they have really tapped into us like, where you guys want to go next? What do you want to do? Because we have been so successful with our Zillow preferred, and when I tell you, it was it was a curve. And they are always astonished at our numbers and what we are able to do. Like we opened up Texas as a Zillow preferred team, and they are doing amazing. So
hmm
it works.
It definitely
It works. What we have works. We're looking towards Arkansas next, And like I said, we're in talks with a California team and what do you call it?
We're in Indiana as
East Coast
well.
team as well. So we are working with them on joining forces and, probably bringing Zillow Preferred to them as well under our umbrella with our system. So we have some things cooking.
This is amazing. It looks like you have this core which you can now take to all the markets, and yeah, this is amazing. So contacts are on the screen if you want to get in touch with LaShawn and Towanna. And then we only have a minute left, so I want to say from all the attendees who came today and from me personally, thank you so much for sharing everything, all your playbooks, know-hows, and best practices. I really appreciate to have such an inspiring leaders on the webinar. So yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat thanking you. And
Before you leave, Max,
yeah,
I want to thank you. You have been an amazing partner to us. I appreciate everything that you have done to help us make all the things that we need in Agently a reality. You pay attention, you listen, you help us create, and we could not have done any of this without your partnership. And we are very, very grateful to you. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
I appreciate that. Another question came in about the onboarding checklist. Jim, if that's okay, I'll get back to you on this one because inside Agently, we do have a ready-made onboarding checklist specifically for EXP. So all webinar attendees, if you guys are interested to explore the system, which I think, according to your own words, Agently contributed to around 30% of your growth. Is that accurate?
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We would not be able to do this without this partnership.
No.
Max and his team, they listen, they watch, they anticipate your needs. I've never had a partnership quite like this outside of a lender.
This is amazing.
Listen and build it for you guys. So they give you like their piece,
Yes.
and if it is not working for your team, work with Max so he can make it work for your team. And that's what I really appreciate.
It's a
about
true
it.
partnership. It's just
Yeah.
not a one size fits all, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words. All the attendees on the webinar, if you want to explore Agently, you actually get this little promo code with 20% off. So there's a little QR code in there. Thank you again for being with us today, LaShawn and Towanna. Thank you to all the attendees. I really hope it was useful and you'll all receive a recording shortly. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your time and have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.